Yeah, man! Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you Bok Choy or Pak Choi stew. So you're gonna need a pack, about a half pound or a pound of Bok Choy, a stalk of scallion, a small tomato, a small onion, 1 carrot, teaspoon of dried parsley, teaspoon of dried basil. You can use any of these herbs fresh. Chop it fine, and about a teaspoon or teaspoon and a half of sea salt, 2 garlic cloves, and a small piece of pepper. I use Scotch bonnet pepper, but you can use shredded red pepper, about a quarter teaspoon. Starting with the carrot, do what I'm doing and scrape the surface of the carrot clean. If you don't want to do that, you can always use a scrubber, scrub it clean under fresh running water. Remove dying leaf from the scallion, cut off ends, the root end and the tip of the leaf that's dying. Cut tomatoes stem part off. Now with the onion, what I like to do is cut the onion in half. It's easier to handle. Do what I'm doing. Peel onion. Just remove the brown skin. First layer of the onion is the strongest. Cut off ends. Garlic. Peel garlic. Trim spoilage. Cut off ends. Now I'm gonna give my vegetables a bit of rinse. So put in a bowl your prepared vegetables or seasonings. Drizzle several drops of distilled white vinegar in the water and wash vegetables properly. Give it a final rinse on the fresh running water. It's best if you do this part on the fresh running water. Next, dice scallion fine. Do what I'm doing. Just be mindful that you're using a sharp knife and keep your fingers clear. Keep your fingers out of the way. Keep ingredients separate. Now, slice onions, or you can dice it as well. Grind garlic to puree. This recipe is going to be in Vegan Dinners Cookbook. Chop tomato in 1/8. Or you can just dice tomato. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in 1/8. Now with the carrot, I like to cut the carrot in half and then cut that half piece in half. That way I can put the flat part of the carrot on the chopping board. It's easier to handle. Do what I'm doing. Cut carrot sticks, small carrot sticks. You can also, if you don't want to do it this way, you can cut carrot wheels. You mean you turn the carrot where it's round and just cut little wheels. Remember now, keep your ingredients separate. Measure and add half between 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, measure and add half between 1 teaspoon of dried basil. You can use any of these herbs fresh. Chop it fine though. Or I can say it like the African. Chop it fine whole. Next, measure and add half between 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. That's our prepared seasonings. Cover it and put it aside for later. Get a bowl, add enough water. You can add salt or you can use white distilled vinegar like I'm going to use today. So measure and add about a tablespoon between 2 distilled white vinegar to the bowl of water. Now, this is our Bok Choy. Cut root end off. While you're cutting, look for dirt, worm, or any insect. Take each leaf, look in between the leaves for foreign objects. That's the seeds. Yes, you see when you go to the market, make sure you get fresh bok choy. That way you can, it should be green and bright, and when you carry it home, it should break easily. The stem of the bok choy should break easily. That you hear a snap. You will hear a snap. Alright, once you do that, you add the bok choy to the bowl of water with the vinegar in it. Remember now, you can use salt instead. Do what I'm doing. Wash the bok choy properly. Take each leaf, use a finger and rub the leaf clean. Sometimes the supermarket do a good job with giving it a first wash for you, so it's not as dirty as if it's from the field. Alright, so once you do that, throw off that water and give your bok choy a final rinse under fresh running water. Drain bok choy. Use a colander. After wash and rinse, you put your bok choy in a colander and allow it to drain excess water. Next, chop bok choy. What I like to do is take a few stems of the bok choy, cut that in half, and then fold it, and then chop it all in. Give bok choy about 1-inch chops. Chop bok choy about 1 inch. We're chopping it like we're shredding it in big pieces. We're chopping it as if we're shredding it in big pieces. Alright, so that's the idea. Put your chopped bok choy aside for later. Next, put to heat a saucepan, a large enough saucepan for cooking. Put the stove gauge on 4 medium-low. Allow the saucepan to dry and get hot for a minute. After a minute, add 2 between 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. After 30 seconds between a minute and the oil is hot somewhat, we're going to saute the seasonings. So add your chopped onions. Stir it in, and allow it to saute golden brown. After a minute, and it's sauteed somewhat, add your chopped or your diced scallion. And note, the scallion is optional. You can use chive instead. If you don't have access to scallion, you can use chive. Stir it in, allow it to saute. After 30 seconds or so, add your mashed garlic. Between 20 seconds or so, add your chopped tomato. Stir it in, and allow it to saute. Allow it to saute, adding additional flavors not in a bottle. Now, after about 30 seconds or so, put the stove gauge on 2, which is low, in the category of low, but number 2, and then add your chopped bok choy. Add your salt, add the herbs, add the piece pepper, use the pan's lid, cover it properly, and allow. The stove gauge is on 2, low, allow. Be sure to keep the lid on within the time. Do not open it. It's building steam. This is how 2 looks on my stove, so you can have an idea. 2 between 3 minutes. I didn't open the lid at all. I didn't open the lid within the time. Now, do what I'm doing. Just flip the bottom to the top and give your pot a few stirs. And then allow. Use the pan's lid, cover the pan back, cover the pan, and allow. Bok Choy Stew win. Bok Choy stewing. Pak Choi stewing. Full 6 minutes. This is what it looks like. It's about ready. That's what you want. Stir your pot in. Look at it. Just to be sure, you can take one of the stem part, the white part, and kind of chew it to see if it's tenderized, if it's not chewy. But once it chews, like how it breaks easily, alright, now is a good time to remove the pepper. If you're using an old piece of pepper like this, you take a piece of the stem and taste it and chew it. Make sure it's cooked. This is okay. Alright, that's it. You're finished. Add the carrot. Look people, you don't need to cook the carrot. It's only going to make it soft and kill out all the nutrients. So if you add the carrot, the steam will kind of cook it somewhat. And that's good enough. Alright, just cover it until serving. I used to add the carrot early too, you know. One lady made a comment saying that she preferred to add her carrot early. I used to do it, but it was one of you who told me that I don't need to cook the carrot, add it at the end. So I followed your advice and I've been doing it ever since. Alright, now stir your pot in, take a scoop of this nice bok choy stew and lay it on a plate of rice. Bok choy stew or pak choi stew. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipes. Subscribe, like, share. You should try cooking this meal yourself. Give us feedback when you do. This recipe will be in Vegan Dinners Cookbook. Bok choy stew with carrot. In the Caribbean, we call it Pak Choi Stew. This is a Rastafarian recipe as well. Alright, my time now. It looks clean and bright and pretty. For one. To show you it's cooked, you see how it's tenderized. That's what you want. The flavor of it is awesome. The herbs blend lovely with this bok choy stew. Carrot is crunchy and nice. The bok choy is just right. I forgot to use thyme, but from what I'm tasting, it's probably not necessary. But if you want, you can add like a stick of thyme, a spring of thyme, while it stews. It's lovely with the rice. You can have this. It's a little bit spicy, but if you ask me, the spiciness gives this meal character. It's not hot, it's just flavor. A little bit like 15% spiciness. On a scale from 1 to 10, about 1.5. It's not oily. The oil that we use, the cooking oil that we used is sufficient. You can have this Bok Choy stew with mashed potatoes, pasta like spaghetti, even bread. You can put this between 2 slices of bread and it makes a nice sandwich as well. You can eat it with crackers. You could have used olive oil instead of coconut oil. For a simple meal, I am enjoying it. I didn't use any artificial flavoring whatsoever. So this is a nice, fresh, natural dinner. Some people probably call this homestead cooking. Vegan homestead cooking. This recipe is in Vegan Dinners Cookbook. When you buy the book, please take time out and leave a comment and give me a 5-star. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Until next time, bye.
Yeah, man!